Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So we were studying about your sets, right? What are the sets? What are the different frozen sets, right? We were just going through all of these respective things into the previous videos, right? So now for this particular video also, I'll take forward that sets topic only, and now if we're talking about what we will be specifically discussing into this particular video. So as I told you that sets are mutable and the frozen sets are immutable, right? So if we're talking about only your sets, so now into this particular video I'll be helping with you that how you can add in up the elements into your sets. Okay, what will be the time complexity, what will be the space complexity, everything we will be discussing up over here under this particular video, right? So let's get started up here very quickly. So if we're talking about the inserting of the elements, so inserting elements, right? So if you're talking about the inserting of the elements into your sets, so there is one function which helps you to do so, and that particular function is your add function, right? It is ADD. I'll just write it up over. You just write it up set dot add. Okay, this is the respective function which helps you to insert up the elements into your sets. Okay, this is the respective element. This is the respective function actually. So inserting elements, that is set dot add, and this is how your elements will work on, and this is how you will insert up the elements onto your set. Now, like whenever you're adding up the elements onto your sets, like where you're having some appropriate record values also, right? So those appropriate record values, those get created, right, and even those get stored in a hash table. Hash table is sort of a table, it is type of a table into which your elements get stored out, right? Those are created, and after that those elements are getting stored into that hash table, and the things like that happens up into your hash table, right? Then things like that get stored in the hash table. So that is what you actually do up over here, right? So as in adding up the elements, this is only the method how do you do so. And now if you're talking about the checking of the item, right, what will be the complexity, right, what will be the best case complexity, what will the worst case time complexity. So if we're talking about the best case, okay, one second, best case time, if we're talking about your best case time complexity, so on an average big O of 1, right? Big O on an average big O 1 is your best case time complexity about inserting up any elements onto your sets, right? Inserting up any elements into your sets. This big O of 1 is the time complexity, best case time complexity which we have. And if we're talking about the worst case time complexity, so worst case it can become big O of n. That is your worst case time complexity. Now how to find out these time complexities, what to do over here, how do you calculate, what is it, that I will not cover right now, okay, because still we are left out with some more topics, and after that I'll be taking time complexity, space complexity, right, best time, worst time, all these things in detail, right? But as the topic is going on currently, I don't want to miss out any of the parts, so that is the reason you can just note that down onto your notebooks, that the best case time complexity is big O of 1 and the worst is big O of n. Okay, and once you are completed with the topics, and once we are onto time complexity, I'll explain you that how do we calculate this and how do we find out these stuffs, right? I'll help you out with all of those respective things. So that is, this is your best case time complexity big O of 1, worst case is your big O of n, right? Now we'll just write up a quick program for your inserting up of the elements into your I'll say into this particular program, right? So what I'll do, I'll just not simply use up only the add function, because we'll deal with some a little bit of complex questions also, some complex problems also, right? Some complex programs, because you all are very well aware that if I simply write in up set declare in that and use a dot add function, it will add up that. But how to make that a more such type of program that people will look over that and doesn't seems too much of very short program, so we'll try to make that sort of one. Okay, so my variable, I'm having names. Okay, names are my a comma, let's say b comma, I have, let's say, c. Okay, there are three different names which I have in a, b, c. Okay, now next over here, what do we have? I'll just print in the name for the people, all the people, again, name, print names. I'll print that. Right, now let's say you want to add up a one new name into this particular set, into this particular list. You want to add in up a name over here, right? So what will be done over 1 second? How come I make that a list? I need to make this as a set, no? Right, like that, right? Perfect. Right, so here you're having, you just printed up the names. Right, now I just want to add in some name over here. So what I'll do, I'll just write names dot add, and into the bracket I can mention the respective name which I want to add. Let's say for me it's D. Okay, I want to add the name which is D into this particular set of me, which is defined as A, B and C. Right, now that's done. Getting down, now as I told you that sets are iterables, right? These are iterables, you can use up the iterators over here. So what I'll do is I can add some iterator also over here, so that it makes up a program a little bit more good, right? So let's do that over here. So what you could do, you can just apply up a for loop, right? So for I in range. Okay, so for I in range, let's say my range starts from 2 and ends up at 7. Right, so for I in range 2 comma 7, I will be writing here names dot add. What it will do, my set which I am having as names, the name for my set is names, right? Now it will add up the numbers from 2 up to 7 into that particular names set. That is what this will be doing up over here. Right, we'll be just adding up the names of my set up to that particular place, right? And yeah, that's all done. And at last, after coming out, I can just simply print in the names. Fine. Now, if I run out this particular program to see how is it going to result me out. So just try to check in up this respective thing first of all. Okay. So here we are having C, B and A, right? So here what is being happened up over here is that 1 second, let me show you. Okay, names is equal to A, B, C, print the names, fine. And names dot add in the bracket, we had added up a name over here, right? Perfect. So this is my real one which is being occurring up over here for me, right? This is the real thing which is getting opened up. That was my this A, B and C, this particular one, it is that same thing, right? So that's all. And now here when I have applied up this particular for loop for me, so names dot add, okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to add in the iterator which is I, and that is the reason we were not getting the desired output, right? So what I'll do is I will once again try to run this program over here. Let's check it out first. Okay, let me take, yeah, perfect. Now see, we are getting up the respective response over here, and it's all like that. B, A, C, this was my initial set which I have defined, right? After that, what I did, I just added D over here, and I applied up my for loop also. I added the for loop. So see, it started with A, added up the elements for me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and at D also it added up one of the elements for me, that is my D, for which I had written up the add function, right? So this is how you can add up any particular thing. You can add up the numbers, you can add up the characters or alphabets, anything over here, right? And as I told you, already mentioned, the best case time complexity for this particular one is big O of 1 and the worst is big O of n, right? So I hope that you're pretty much clear how you can add up the values or add up the anything onto your sets, right, with the help of the add function. So if you have enjoyed the video, do like the video, do share it with your friends, and even don't forget to subscribe out my channel. I'll see you in the next video.